Yeah, we are. We in. Hello, hello. So yeah, you can go to your page and just go to my page right now and share it live.
And that's the Cedar Valley Church of Christ.
Yeah, Cedar Valley Church of Christ. They coming in already, fast and furious. To turn these comments on. Hey, Shawnee.
And I must submit to the call you place on my life. If you call me,
yeah. Oh man, you guys in here fast and furious tonight. You said sound. Hey Samantha, can you hear us? Grace Driven, can you hear me? Coming in fast and furious. Good evening.
Hey, Monica. Good evening.
Lady.
Hello, welcome. You guys are in fast and furious. Hey, Carmel, you guys are in fast and furious tonight. So we'll give about 5 minutes for the late arrivals to show up. Hey, listen, all those who are coming in, you still have time to share this video on your page. Just post a watch party or share it. We're going to be ready to go here in a second. No, it's not.
Okay.
Hey, Chauncey, Dwight. Good evening, Barbara. Let's see what we got. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Sister Black.
Hey, Sister Black.
Brother Hamill.
Like that. Again,
I know, right? Finally.
Go get some.
Hey, Paige.
Hey, Tennessee. Hey, Tennessee, Dwight Williams.
Oh, hold on. That's not what we want. Oh. Hey, that went right into my work earlier. That went right into my workout playlist. Hold on, here we go. This is what we want. Here we go.
What will happen, my brother?
Oh my goodness.
That was some new music you had coming out. I didn't know.
Praise God. About to blow the show.
You can't hear it.
Yeah. There we go. After this song goes off, we're gonna go ahead and start. Because you guys are good. We got a good crowd coming in tonight.
Somebody has already proclaimed it's gonna be good.
Who is this?
He said this is gonna be good.
Dexter, a jokester. I'm glad I know you. Hello, hello.
Terry Mays.
Terry
Wow, we have a goodly number already. You still have time to share. We're waiting on you. Terry, one for another. We're putting that into practice tonight. So we're waiting on you. Yes, it is truly going to be marvelous tonight. If the Lord is in it, it's
Yeah,
always.
you know how we come on Wednesdays.
Mhm.
Oh, we're going to hear some singing. Yes, Jessica, you got to hang on. I think everybody's warming up. Good evening, good evening.
Hi, Lori.
That's from Houston.
Come on, Amy.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, y'all get in here. Get in here. Get in here.
Michigan is in the house.
Oh,
What's going on, Michigan? We lift our hands. All right, we almost there, guys.
call somebody and tell them to come in with you. Call somebody.
Minnesota in the house. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Minnesota. Thank you for joining us all the way.
hey,
Minnesota.
Hey,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Come on through, Minnesota.
You're not by yourself, Samantha. Yes.
We got Kansas in the house.
Hey, Kansas.
All right, Kansas.
Corona has afforded us an opportunity really to connect. Hold on, we got Boston in the house.
Hey, Boston in the
Oh,
house.
the
You're not
Angie's house.
alone.
What's up, Angie?
Yeah, you
What's up,
let us
sister?
know we ain't by ourselves. That's awesome.
We might need to do a roll call in a minute.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Awesome.
We the Malone's home state. We got some Alabama in the house. Of course, we would have some Alabama in the house.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Finally, we got some Alabama.
Birmingham. My sister, what's up, Mel?
You know about Wolf Brand Chili. My mom is from Texas, and when we with Wolf Brand Chili, that was like a delicacy in our house growing up.
That is so
Melody is
funny.
crazy.
Wolf Brand chili.
Yeah.
I would say fruitcakes, but you know, hey.
Oh,
All right, here we go. Here we go. We got it.
Yes.
All right. Want to say good evening to everybody, and we're so glad that you could join us this evening. And we know that many of you have come in from all over the country. It looks like tonight.
You in the house. Hey, guy. What's up?
Come on, Rob.
Hey, what's up, Rob? And Rob,
What's up, man?
he did an excellent job last week.
Show with the man Sam.
So I'm excited tonight to have another wonderful group of panelists. And last week we did a new song, and I'll explain it in a second. First of all, I want to always acknowledge my congregation, Cedar Valley Church of Christ. Thank you guys for being open to us sharing this time we have together with others. And Corona has afforded us a wonderful time to connect. And had this not happened, we would not have been able to have this platform nor this time together. And so I like to see things as opportunities. So we have a wonderful opportunity tonight. Last week, we had a wonderful panel, and we talked and we springboarded from Psalms 30, where David was talking about, or Psalms 40, where David was talking about God had put a new song in his heart. And this new song was born out of his deliverance. It was not selfish. It was not about anything he had done. And the group of people that we had last week did a wonderful job. And I heard so much great feedback about it. We left so much meat on the bone. The Spirit put it in my heart to do it again. And these individuals we have on the night who the Spirit put on my heart to contact, they also graciously accepted. And I'm humbled here tonight. I'm going to take a few minutes and let them introduce themselves. Before we do that, I want to let you know up front, we're going to be on till about 8:30 Central Time, for about an hour and a half, because there's a lot of stuff to digest here tonight. We hope you can stay around and join us. If you have to go, we understand. If you want to share this or start a watch party, you still have time to do this. So I'm going to take the time and bring our panelists on, and we're ready to go here tonight, as you can see. And I'm going to start with the ladies first, and let the ladies kind of introduce themselves, and then we'll get it kicked off here tonight. I'll start with Tiffany.
Well, hey everybody. I'm Tiffany Malone. I reside here in Athens, Alabama. The first song that Sam was playing, I'll Go, that was written by my brother John Edmerson. That was actually me singing on that. I've been blessed to sing with a lot of great artists. A lot of them are in this chat today. Good friends of mine that we've sang with through the years. I grew up in North Carolina, and I started singing from a very young age. Started singing with Soul Purpose when I got good enough to be in the group, and then got married, moved to Alabama, and started singing with the Southside Singers, and committed and did that for quite some time. And they taught me how to sing a little bit more, and
Taught us how to sing.
and the rest is history. I worked with Jerome with the youth vocal ministry camp, and just all kinds of ministry that we've done through the years. So I'm just happy to be here to contribute whatever little bit I can.
Man, thank you.
Amen.
Ms. Terry.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Terry Mays. I'm Texas born, but have come through Texas to Oklahoma, now in Southern California.
Right.
I've had the opportunity to sing with all of these people as well, and it's just a blessing to be on the same platform with you guys. The song that you heard me singing was also written by John T. Edmerson. So it sounds like he's done a lot of writing for us.
Thank you.
Gerald is on the line. He did one of my first recordings. So I appreciate him for that. And Jerome has done a couple of my CDs for me, I believe. I know at least one full, but I've done some songs with him on other projects. And I had the privilege to get to meet Brother Norwood way much later than I actually heard you. I heard your songs when we still had, I think it might have been no, it wasn't a record. It was a tape. all the way back to 1933. So, way back in my when I first,
way back.
Yeah, that's way back. Telling our age, and well, my hair tells my age. But it's an honor to be here with you. Like I said, we're in Southern California now. We're supporting our daughter and son-in-law. We're out here, and God has blessed us. My husband's preaching at Corona Church of Christ. Yeah, no pun intended, Corona. There's my nephew online there. We love you, Terry. Love you too, Charlie. So it's just an honor to be here. Thank you, Sam, for doing this. This is a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. Humbly accepted. I'll go Gerald, Jerome, John, and then Brother Norwood.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just honored to be here on this line with all these musical giants. I admire each and every one of y'all. Music has been a part of my life forever. As a little kid, my parents had us up singing. I mean, in four-part harmony at age 5, 6, 7 years old. We were at every homecoming musical. We were there performing. And my love for music caused me to want to go to school for it. So I got a degree in music and became a middle school choir teacher, which I do now here in the Dallas area, Duncanville, ISD. And I'm also the music minister at the Mountain View Church of Christ here in Dallas. So when I say music is what I do, literally every day, all day is what I do. And on the side, I own and operate G Note Studio and Production. And I record and I produce, write and arrange for many people like Terry Mays, that I've done some stuff for her. She was actually my first client that I've ever had, was Terry Mays. But I've recorded, just to name a couple, I've done a lot of writing and recording for Terry Jackson, for the group Dawn as well. So that's a little bit about myself.
All right, thank you, Gerald. Thank you.
All right. My name is Jerome Malone, and a lot like Gerald, I started out young. My brothers with the Southside Singers, they're about 10 years older than me. So when they were 13 or so, they started singing and traveling. So I just grew up around it. Grew up around guys like Chris Turner and just different guys that really influenced me. So at a young age, I started off I learned from Chris Turner taking 2 tape recorders and record
Yes,
something,
sir.
then play it. And then after you do it about 5 times, you can't hardly hear it. But so we started doing that, and just God blessed us to grow in the ministry with producing and engineering. Had the privilege to work with Terry Mays and John Edmondson, and just been influenced by all of you guys, especially Brother Norwood, in so many ways. Then I've had the privilege of working with just different groups, Soul Purpose, Vonda Waller, Revelation. I don't even want to start because just God has blessed me to just cross paths with so many. And at this point, we're God has blessed us to be in the ministry with the Oasis congregation here in Athens. So you're talking about a new song. So I'm interested into what God is going to have us do with our music ministry moving forward, just because you go into different phases and I think your song kind of changes. But that's where we are. And we're just trying to allow God to use us for where he's taking us as we move from here. I really appreciate you asking me and my wife to be a part of this. We're excited.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting. Thank you. Brother.
Sure. I'm John Edmondson. I'm honored to be here tonight. Brother Sam, thank you so much for the invitation. My musical journey started when I was really young, but really didn't materialize until I got to Southwestern. But prior to that, my incubator was the greater Los Angeles area. And I had the privilege of singing with Epiphany, sitting and listening to Joy and Reflections and Ron and Renaissance and the great Willie Norwood. I can remember so many occasions watching Brother Norwood direct the LA Citywide campaign. And he was so inspiring. And I know that he had no idea that he was motivating me, but that's what he was doing every time he was standing up. So I got to Southwestern, things kind of took off some, but they really took off when Terry and I got together, and Amy and Lamont and Angie, and we did the Exodus CD. And we've just kind of been working together off and on since then. I'm just grateful to be here. I really feel like my better years musically are ahead of me. Okay. And I'm looking forward to doing some new songs and hopefully working with some artists that I wanted to work with my whole life. And I'm honored to be on this distinguished platform tonight. And Brother Norwood, good to see you. Tiffany, Jerome, Terry, Gerald, always good to see all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And last but not least, our elder statesman.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless everybody. God bless you too, Sam. Thank you so much for asking JT. And JT turned me on to the show. I looked at the show and I admire all the guys that were part of the part one. And I enjoyed how you took control and created a very nice, organized setting for us, and that was great. And I'm really humbled by being here. I respect everybody on this panel, and I've seen so many great things from everybody here. Just a little bit about my background, but before I start, I'm here in Los Angeles. I'm outdoors. That's why I have my cap on. You know, back in the day, you couldn't wear a cap if you were indoors. That's changed now. But I'm outside. I'm in the yard out here, and I'm enjoying Calabasas where I am. And it's just beautiful. God's presence is here, and I'm here staying with my daughter, helping her finish up her album. You know, she put the song out, Baby Mama, which was kind of like an empowerment for single women and for baby mamas. And yesterday, when we were finishing up the project, a friend called his friend, who was Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder called and talked to her and told he had a song for her that he had been trying to get her for 10 years. And he just didn't know how to get in touch with her. But today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Stevie Wonder. He's one of my favorite singers. And I grew up, you know, in him, working with, we're not working with him because I've never worked with him, but I've worked with people who knew him. I served as the minister of music officially in Los Angeles at the Southside Church of Christ. Brother Carl Backus reached out to me and asked me to come and work with the church. And it's been a great experience. I was there for 10 years. And right now I'm retired, but I still do voice lessons online. I've been a virtual vocal coach for many years, and I do virtual voice lessons. And a lot of the people that I work with, they like what I do, and they like my method. And I have a very different method because it comes from a different place. And I'll be talking more about that. I don't mean to take up everybody's time, but God bless each one of you. And I know you're going to get something from this because I'm just excited to be here.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Brother Norwood, and we appreciate you. I'm glad you mentioned that Stevie, because Stevie is everybody who knows me know he's my all-time favorite, and he's influenced us in so many different ways. That's I thank you for mentioning that tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get it kicked off and get started. Again, I want to thank you all for accepting and humbled. I think of you all as not just special musicians, but special people, and that's what I want people to understand tonight. God uses people who are sincere about Him, and hopefully, as we did last week, we can peel back some of the layers that are there to give people an inside glimpse at creative processes, inspiration, motivation, and even some of the functional things of the church tonight. As I stated earlier, Psalms 40, I started this, you can see on your flyer, we started it, a new song, I'm Glad I Know You. And you know, we can't touch, we're going to touch on that some here tonight. We got John and Miss Terry here. We're going to touch on that here in a second. First of all, I'm thinking about the healing effects of music. And I think it's important to think about the power of music to capture a moment. In other words, where were you when? All right, so I think this will be a good way to start off the show tonight. All of you have mentioned some of our favorite artists. Share with us some of your favorite songs and some of your where were you when moments. And I'll begin by kicking this off. And I tell Miss Terry this all the time. And this was 2000 when Ben Foster Jr., our friend at Southwestern, passed. And we went on spring tour that next year. And we were singing If You Can Make It Through the Storm. And all of us, every time we hear that song, it brings up, you know, allergies get in my eyes, you know, because of it reminds us of that moment we lost our friend. And so certain songs, I'm Glad I Know You, we lift our hands to raise the sky. So y'all share some of those, the power of music to capture the moment or the occasion. That's why we should not downplay it. If you would begin to tell us about that. And I'll start with Miss Terry, and then you guys jump in tonight. The power of music to capture the moment. What are some songs that have captured, have stood out in your mind to you that remind you of a particular place and time?
Well, like you said, If You Can't Make It Through the Storm definitely takes me back to Southwestern. when we were blessed to be able to work there for 2 years. And yeah, that was a pretty tough time. I remember being in the hospital when Ben was there, and how we just bombarded the whole hospital room, and there was so many of us there, and that song just became, well, every time I heard you guys sing it, it was just amazing. And then it just so happens that years after Ben had passed, Sister Foster asked Kristen, our daughter, to sing it at a Ladies' Day program. And so we started doing a little duet after she did that. And then it was just kind of one of those songs we introduced to a group of people who were singing with me at the time. It was my family who we always sang together. And we just started singing it, and it turned into something else. And one thing that I can say about that song is it's one thing to sing and minister to someone else. It's another thing when you have to sing the song and minister to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those songs, you know, definitely one of those songs. And I love the song. And I think we've been singing it, what'd you say, I've been singing it since
2000.
I don't even remember I would just listen to you guys sing it in 2000, but I don't even remember the year that I started singing it. I think the first year I came to CAMA.
In Atlanta.
It might have been the time that I started actually singing it with the group. I just love how I love to sing with different people when we sing it. Alabama tries to kill me when we sing it together. You know, I don't like singing that song.
We're the ones working hard, believe me.
Try to pay attention to you while you're doing the background.
You know, it depends on whoever you're singing with. I mean, when I've sang it in Alabama, Pooh just adds something totally different to the song when he's directing it. I came to California and we sang it at Metro. And from there, I remember Darren started something new, and at the very end of the song where we started saying, I can make it. That part, that came from when I sang it in California. And so it just kind of evolves, and you just never know. I'm old enough to where I pretty much sing the song the same almost all the time. The words, so I see people in the audience saying the exact same thing I'm getting ready to say. I'm just kind of that kind of a person. But that song it's brought me through some things. It reminds me that, you know, if I can't make it, how can I tell you how to do it?
Right.
A very powerful message, you know, powerful message. People ask me to sing it at funerals, and I'm often like, a funeral? Oh, that's kind of a confusing song. Are you sure?
Yes.
But it's a beautiful song, and I still don't know who wrote it. So if y'all ever find that out, let me know so I don't get in trouble put in jail behind it on a CD.
Yeah, and actually, Ms. Terry, you have this effect. Every song you sing sounds like you wrote it. So we'll go ahead and we'll just even, you know. But anybody else want to chime in on that? A particular song, a particular time that you can think of where the song captured the occasion?
I think for us, for me personally, a lot of people have heard me and Tiffany sing "Jesus Is More." And just a little background behind, and that's a song that was written by my brother John. He's an excellent songwriter. But
absolutely
during the time when we were singing that song, we had been married maybe a year, and I remember I lost my job. I had been working there for probably 10 years. Before we got married, I bought a brand new house. I had all of that. And so I lost my job, and we had just had my daughter. She was 2 months old, lost my job. We ended up losing our house. And I remember I didn't know where we were going to live, what we were gonna do, and to see how God took us through that time, it was just amazing. I was actually talking to a girl that I worked with and telling her about my situation, and she was living across town in this house that she was living by herself, and she wanted to be closer to her parents. And I was like, "Well, do you want to get rid of the house?" She was like, she said, "Yeah, because I want to live closer to my mom." And so she showed us the house, and we had been looking for a place to live. And it's almost like God was trying to be funny at the houses and the places that we could get. We went to one house, the closet door was like to our shoulder. And we were like, what is God doing? But it's interesting, but he really opened that up. We were able to move into this house, a really nice house where I didn't know where we were going to be able to live. And so through the process, we're still traveling and singing and doing what we do. And the songs that we sing, you can't help but think about the things that you're going through. And I think when you are able to internalize it, that's something Terry always talks about. When you can internalize it, people feel what you feel. And so, and it also, it gives us an opportunity to actually talk about that while we're up there. So they'll know that we're not just up performing, we're not just up putting on the show. We're talking about real life things that God is bringing us through. So when we're talking about Jesus is more, he's more than your bills.
Amen.
He's more, and everything is going to be all right. And so we can say that in the song, we can say it with the heart, because we're actually living it, and we're trying God, and there's going to be challenge after challenge, and with every challenge, God shows up and shows out.
Yeah.
And it just helps your ministry even more to pour into other people, because there's somebody that's going through it right now, and that song is going to minister. And just one more thing, I can remember sitting at my mother's funeral, and I had heard we'll sing Hallelujah by and by my whole life, but I think that was written by Sylvia Rose Cobb, I believe. I had heard that song my whole life, but when I heard that song and Chris Turner sang it, when he sang it at my mother's funeral, it's like I was hearing it for the first time. And it just gave me this peace. And I told myself at that point, if anybody ever asked me to sing at a funeral, I'm there, because I know what that did for me. And so when you're talking about the power of a song, you're talking about the power of music, we got to understand that this is our gifts that we've been gifted with, is something that God has given us, and we got to be good stewards of that to minister to people when the opportunity presents itself.
All right, thank you. That's good.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about a song I wrote several years back. We recorded it at the lectureship, actually for the lectureship. It's the last song that Jerome did with Trinity One back in the day. I'm still grieving over that, not being able to get with Trinity One again. But it's the song Believe. And I actually wrote that song for Brandy many years ago. And it was at a time in my life where I was trying to do this lectureship. And I had so much opposition. I was determined to make it musical, and we had the first 2-day concert. It's the first time we ever charged for the concert. We did streaming that year, but I had so much opposition. So a lot of the self-doubt that I, had for different reasons began to resurface in my life. And that song Believe came out of that experience. And you go back and you listen to those lyrics, searching inside myself, would I be the best that I know that I can be? It's a challenge to be true to what you want me to do. Lord, I need a little lift. I believe in myself. I believe, in so on and so forth. But Terry does an excellent job on that song. But when I think about songs that I've written, that certainly is one of the ones that means a lot to me. And I'm hoping one day to go back and redo that song and put a little bit more into it. But Terry, you did a phenomenal job with the song. And I'm going to always love you for many reasons, but you certainly did an excellent job on that song.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you wrote it for Brandy? Woo!
I did.
Well, I like to hear you sing it.
Gerald, I know you compose. You're a composer, and you direct music both in and out of the church. How's that apply to you? Is anything particular stands out in your mind, a particular song or particular that ties to a moment? And then I'm going to go to Brother Norwood after you.
No, I guess a lot of times when I think about heaven, the song that always comes to mind is "I'll Be Wearing the Crown." That song always on my mind whenever I think about transition, making that transition to heaven. That song has always stuck with me.
Yeah, I love that.
Veronica Williams, "I'll Be Wearing the Crown."
Yeah.
Amen.
One of my favorite singers.
Brother Norwood,
Yeah.
Tiffany, you want to add to this one before we move on?
I actually thought about a song, and I think it might have been on that album that I can't remember which one it was, but the song was "Everything Is Gonna Be All Right."
Jay Green's.
Yes.
Jay Green, yeah.
And actually, it's kind of ironic because sometimes when you're singing a song or you're recording a song, you don't know the way that song, God will use that song later on for somebody. It's almost like our job is to be willing to come to the table and bring our gift and do our best. God does something else with it after that.
Right. We're vessels.
I got a call from actually Sam, your father-in-law, who listened to that song, I think when his wife was, and he called me, and he or got my number from somebody and left us a message. I think I cried that whole day when he called and just talked about how much comfort that song, which was kind of an upbeat song in my mind, everything's going to be all right when Jesus comes. You don't think about that giving, kind of like what you were saying about when you heard "Sing Hallelujah" by and by in the moment where you're grieving, how that will give comfort. That's not always what you think about when you're recording a song. And that moment really stuck with me about what God is actually doing with the song. Long after you've sang it, long after, he's still doing something with it.
I actually remember that, having trying to hunt you down to get that song. he was on a mission. To be like that. Once he had his mind around it, hey, I need you to do this. I don't remember how he got it, but and that was a great time too. I mean, that whole album with Jay Green was very inspirational. Shout out to John.
Absolutely. He's my roommate at Southwestern.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah. He's talented, and in my time in California, I enjoy singing with those guys, John and Sharon Harris and Addison. There's a lot of West Coast talent, and I got to shout out to the West Coast since we're on here. It's a lot of talent in the West Coast across the country. Brother Norwood, I'll end with you, then I'm gonna move on to the next pose you guys another question.
All right, I won't be long. I tell you, man, I have so many moments. Like, like when I read about the new song, and I thought about how God did something for the writer of that song, and he said that he put a new song because he did a new thing in his life.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the song that comes out, and I admire the great songwriters here on the panel, it's like God does something for you, and he's not really doing it for you, he's doing it for the people that you're going to be ministering to. And that's, he said, like, the people, they had faith and they trusted God, and they really honored him. And that's what worship is all about. It's boasting on what God can and will do in your life.
Yeah.
So many moments like that. Let me just recount just one moment. I was in Little Rock, Arkansas for the national lectureship, and I had just done my little cassette tape. Just done my cassette tape. And I had a couple of Sylvia Rose songs on there. That's my favorite. one of my favorite, because JT, I don't want to ever leave him out on writing songs. But I just written this song, Restore My Soul. And I took a chance and tried to teach all those people that was at that meeting. It was like maybe 700 to 800 people there. And to teach them that one song that they had never heard before. And I taught all those people that song. But this kicker is this. After I taught the song, I went to my table to set up, for my cassette tapes. And people, they flooded my place. And I had so much money, because they were paying in dollars. I had so much money, it scared me. I would run back to the room and throw the money on the bed and run back out there. And I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with. It was just thousands of dollars of the people that came. And they didn't just buy for themselves. They bought for their families and for their friends and stuff like that. That was a great moment in my life. And it kind of helped when God puts a song in your heart, or when he give it to you, it's for the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love that story.
Yeah, and I agree. Everything that we do, as you said, is for God, and we edify one another. And I think that's why all of us are on here tonight. You guys have a heart for ministry, and you know that by being here, we can just encourage. We can encourage somebody. And I think it's important to us. And I think I tell people all the time, I said this last week, when you're around really good singers and people who have a heart for God, there's no competition. There's not a lot of ego in the room. There's just an appreciation for the gifts. And as we said before we came on here, that the Lord distributes in the church. He not only distributes diversity of gifts, but he distributes gifts on a different measure. Right. So there's levels of talent within that measure. Same song, different verse. We had this discussion yesterday. Now, this song was written by, many of you don't know, John T. Edmondson. At the bottom of the screen, front and center. And some people said this can be the church anthem. I'm glad I know you. I'm glad we lift our hands and to see the whole crowd go up. And John, as towns are whiter than snow. Now, as John and I talk, Miss Terry, it's so beautiful in this song, just to see the way you and Amy, who's a very underrated singer and musician in her own right, the way that you guys fed off each other. It was just a beautiful song. And then after all that time of hearing that song, here comes Tiffany. Right. And then she comes in and kills the song. And so, people say, then we're doing the church, who sings it better, Tiffany or Terry? And so you can have the same song and people put their own spin on it. Like we're speaking of Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder wrote Until You Come Back to Me for Aretha. Right. And when you hear Stevie's version of that, you're like, that's amazing. But then until Aretha comes in, you're like, whoa, so same song, different verse. So let's talk about that diversity of gifts, why that's so important to appreciate the differences that God gives us to bring to the table when it comes to singing. Yeah. And I'll let Tiffany and Miss Terry, I guess I'll let y'all go ahead and address that since I threw that out there.
Like I told you the other day, Terry sings everything better. So,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I think, everybody, interestingly, depending on maybe, I don't know how many years it was before Committed recorded that song, that you guys recorded it, maybe 6, 7 years. I'm not sure what the time span is. But even as we, our kids and we, meet kids during the camp, you can kind of tell when people are born based on which version they kind of heard first.
Right.
You hear sing it and you can tell which version they heard first. And it's just interesting. But I think we all have our kind of unique style, depends on, we live in the South. And so gospel.
We pick cotton,
Gospel, soulful gospel is going to be, kind of go-to style feel, as well as having an appreciation for, all kinds of music. And then there's just, so whatever my influences or whatever I bring, to it will influence my style. And believe it or not, Terry is actually one of my influences. She's a little bit older than me, so I actually listened to her, as I'm coming up singing. And so, all that kind of feeds into it. But everybody kind of does, their own way with what they have at the time. I guess I did it as best I could, but coming behind Terry and John writing that amazing song, you are right. Everywhere you go, people know it, they want to hear it, and it's a testament to the writing of the song, I think, too.
Right. Well, what I would say on that, and I said it yesterday, I think the song is better when we sing it together. I've had the opportunity to sing the song with Tiffany. And I love, again, anytime I get to sing it with Amy. I don't get to sing that much with Amy anymore, but anytime I'm in the house with her and we get to sing that together, it's amazing. I think the last time we got to sing it together is when we recorded it in Austin, Texas with Southwestern on that Southwestern project. We may have sang it since then, I'm not sure, but I love to sing it with Amy. And when I sing it with Tiffany, it's interesting how I still do it my way and Tiffany still does it her way. Right. And we're able to collaborate and get through the song. It's hard for me to listen to Tiffany sing anything without sitting there crying. So, be able to get through the song with her is just powerful. John tells us the story about how when he wrote the song, he just thought nobody would like this song. And I really surprised at how many people enjoyed the song. But it's just one of those songs that so many people know and they love it. I think that we've done a little twist to it, He intended it to be, I'm glad I know you. Right. And I think we kind of turned it to I'm glad I know you. Right. He initially wrote it to about how we relate to each other. So it was an honor. Now I will tell you that was the first time I started singing soprano. John tried to kill me.
He introduced you to your real voice.
So if you really listen to I'm Glad I Know You on Exodus, you will hear me and Amy go, oh my goodness, that song was high. Yeah. And Johnny Wilder would sit there and tell us, you can do it. I want you to do that one again, sister. Like, that was hard. But I literally started singing soprano after I sang that song with Exodus. Because I was very comfortable singing alto and tenor and, my pretend bass. Yeah, very high song, but I love it.
Yeah. And then there's another version where somebody wrote, he prayed. He prayed for you. He prayed for me. I've heard 3 or 4 different versions, and I'm just really surprised. I could not have orchestrated the spreading of that song. Right. That had to be something that God had in mind that He wanted to do through me. Yes. And I'm still amazed and grateful when Brother Norwood and I used to travel around and sell our tapes. He would be in one part of the place, I'd be in another part of the place, chasing our dreams. I never would have known that me selling, that CD, no, it was a tape at that time for $7-8 would be what it is today. And I'm just grateful, to have 2 of our brotherhood's finest, and then Amy. I've just always been in love with Amy and the way that she has such good diction and such good tone.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful, and I'm looking forward to the next version of the song.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
That
somebody.
would be.
Go ahead, Gerald.
I was gonna say, what an honor for a song talking about John, for people to sing your music and to want to sing your music. In my opinion, that's a great honor for a songwriter. Not only are people singing your song, but people are singing it in concurrent worship. I mean, we sing it all the time in our worship service.
Do you?
And it's one of the favorites here. Yes, we do. It's one of the favorites here at Mountain View. So I think that's a great honor for people to want to perform your music, even years after you've written it. That's a great honor.
Thank you.
That is definitely a great song, and I think Tiffany mentioned it. It all depends on where you are, and I love style, right? We said same song, different verse. In the South, it might be a little slower. I'm glad I know you. And somewhere else I'm glad I know you. I'm glad I know you. It all depends. I prefer mine. Probably a little more on the chopped and screwed side, but that might be a Southern thing, a little slower. But it doesn't matter. It's about uplifting the congregation and edifying the congregation. Now, I want to keep this slide moving along. For those who are with us, thank you for staying with us. Again, we might have glitches along the way. That's because y'all are just shutting down the internet, and y'all know that this COVID internet everybody's on, but we working through it. And thank you for hanging in there. We have a goodly number on tonight. Now, the next topic I want to move to, as you can see coming across the bottom of your screen, is ministry off key. And I think if you're a preacher listening, or if you're a member of the congregation, if you're a young person who's aspiring to do music ministry, I think you want to really listen up here. You have someone like John Emerson and Jerome Malone and Willie Noah and Gerald Burnett and Terry Mays who write and who have served, continues their gifts. I think that I believe I said last week, man's gifts woman's gifts make room for them. And when God has gifted you to it, he puts you in the platform to do it. Many of our churches are struggling because we have yet to develop and institute and maintain an effective music ministry that is from top to bottom, a comprehensive music program that's integrated within the church. Brother Norwood, I'm going to start with you on this one. What does that look like, and how is that significant and important? And then I'm going to come to Jerome and Gerald on this.
Well, I think that's been one of our failures, I think, is to really try to develop a comprehensive, like you say, something that people can really understand where they're going and where you're trying to get them to go. A lot of times it's as a leader, you have to show people where you're trying to take them. And if you don't make that clear, then you just around just doing things. Yeah. You have to show people where they're going, and you can't get so far out in front of the people until they look. If they can't see you, then they're going to see you as the enemy. If you're too far out in front of them, you got to be with them and show them where you're trying to go. One of the things that I did when I went to Southside in Los Angeles is I developed music ministry using multiple small groups. And so I had children's group, I had a young adult group, I had just all facets, male, female. But when teaching them in small groups, and gave me a chance to allow other people to lead also, and to show them how to lead. And by developing other leaders, you develop a group of people who will follow that person. And all you got to do is follow the leaders of the packs, and you put them together, and you improve the singing. That was my model for teaching them, and it worked. And after a while, go ahead.
No, boy, did it work.
Yeah, well, it was a challenge on so many levels, but that's what comes with trying to be a leader of something, especially if you're trying to do something brand new that's never been done before. But you have to trust the process. And if they don't come the first time, you just have to keep it before them, and they're down to it. But a lot of times we just quit too soon.
Yeah.
You just have to hang in there and stay with them, give them a good blueprint and a good thing they can follow, and help them to accept it and then work for it. And don't give up.
Yeah, amen. Don't quit too soon. I'm glad you said that, because there's somebody out there struggling to try to get their congregation involved and actively engaged in singing, and they're discouraged on that a lot. Jerome, I want you, if you can, to chime in on this for me.
Real quick, just for Brother Norwood, I had a quick follow-up, Brother Sam, if it's okay.
Go ahead.
Brother Norwood, how close did you work with the congregation's leadership? Did you and the elders and the minister, were all you guys on the same page, or was that your first battle?
Well, totally on the first page. I mean, you got to have that kind of synergy in order to get your goals done, in order to follow through. You know, you have to be prayerful, you have to be spiritual, you have to wait on God on some things, and you have to just hang in there with God and just kind of work through whatever it is. But without without being a spiritual person, there's no way you're going to make it happen. Not that it helped people to grow and to be encouraged. But we were on the same page.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam.
That's a great point. You got to be on. Everybody's got to buy into it and believe in what you're doing from a music ministry standpoint. Jerome, see what you have. Well, you have some good insight to this concept as well.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of Brother Norwood. Just the idea of using the gifts that God has put in your congregation. There are people that are gifted singers, talented singers. And when you can take those individuals and put them together, and it's just the idea of discipleship, when you are just showing them how to use their gifts and talent. You use those and you put them together, and then they are the model for everybody else can kind of join in. And so you teach them the songs, and then you let them sing it before the congregation, and then they can be the tools that you can use to teach and just to help grow that ministry. And a couple of things will happen. You got individuals understanding their place in the body, and you get buy-in from them. And so you teach them what it's all about. You teach them the mechanics. You teach them the spirit, and the spirit that they have is going to flow into the whole congregation. Yes. And so I would use that. And there, in today's time, you have access to different people that you can bring in to do workshops. The first time I ever saw Brother Norwood was in Florence, Alabama. He came in and did a workshop, but I saw him turn that congregation into a choir. So that's another tool that we can use, that we have access to. And what this pandemic is showing us, that through social media and Zoom and things like that, we are actually closer to very talented individuals across our brotherhood than we even know, and we have access to them. So we got to use, God has placed people in the body for the edification of the saints, and so we got to tap into those individuals that are talented and use what God has given us to advance the kingdom.
All right, thank you. That's true. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to approach the question from a different angle. This is just my opinion in my 40 years of living and being a member of the Black Churches of Christ. I'm very humble in saying this. I think that overall, the Black Churches of Christ, we're light years behind when it comes to music ministry, and when it comes to investing in our music ministries overall. What I mean by that is, a lot of times, the music minister that's at a particular congregation, he might have a great singing ability, but not necessarily have the talent to lead a music ministry.
Yes.
Being able to sing and being able to direct a choir or knowing music, that's for things. and a lot of times we starstruck by a person's singing ability, and they don't necessarily have the tools to lead a music ministry, to teach music, to direct a choir, and those types of things. I think overall we need to invest. We need to invest in our music ministers, because a lot of churches have song leaders, but they're not necessarily music ministers. So myself, I'm not a Michael Jordan. I'm not known for solo leading. I'm more so the Phil Jackson. I'm the coach on the bench. I can tell you how to produce sounds and how to make sounds and what to do to improve your singing. But in the Black Churches of Christ, we're hooked on the Michael Jordan more so than the Phil Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah. You gotta have you gotta have some Dennis Rodman. You know, I mentioned last week on my tour. It's kind of like when you go to college, right? You're good at your high school. When you step on college, there's 20 of you. So, you have to learn how to play your part, learn how to play your position. All of us learn how to sing somewhere. For me, it began, the best place to get humbled is at the house, singing with my brothers and sisters. Still today, you off, and you gotta produce a certain type of excellence. And I don't know why we can't do that in our congregations as well. I assume that when all of you want to produce albums and do records, you do it with a certain type of quality and excellence, not even that your listeners expect from you, but that you expect from yourself. And so I think that'll transition us into, we have a few more questions. Y'all hang with us for a little bit. And but who is now? Tiffany, somebody mentioned you.
Sam. I actually wanted to just quickly say something about what Gerald said. Yeah. And I want to say, when I used to do my clinics and workshops, I haven't done any in a long time. I've been doing the preaching thing, been enjoying immensely, and it's just difficult for our fellowship, to really promote, people who do both. But when I used to do those, music is something that excited everybody. I mean, man, even the people that you don't think like music all that much can get excited. Yeah. So I just want to encourage those who are doing the work, to do the work. Music amongst our fellowship is so undeveloped, and there's really not an excuse for us not, pushing the envelope and being where we need to be, or at least striving toward that. Some of the best singing I've heard, and I'm include John P. Key and all those people I love, are right here in my fellowship. And I'm looking forward to the day where I can be a part of some things where I'm, helping to contribute, where I'm currently serving now as one of the elders and the minister. I'm not able to work with the music as much as I'd like, but our choral directress, her name is Monique Washington, and our group here is Genesis. Her brother directs our music ministry, and I see the time that we put in. But I just want to encourage you, just like Willie said, to keep working at it, stay with it, and eventually you're going to turn the corner. Yes, it may not materialize in a way that you can envision until you get there, and then when you get there, you'll see, oh, that's what God was trying to do. Mm-hmm. So stay with it, keep working at it.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you so much for that insight. And I think you've seen it. Probably Jerome has seen it. A lot of guys who preach as well. We've all seen it. That sometimes when you preach, the guys who don't sing, they say, "Oh, you just sing because you can't preach," as if God can't give you the gift of singing and preach. Well, why does it have to be another? Why does he have to sing and preach? I don't sing sometimes because I just, like to sing, but I sing because that's what God has put in my heart and spirit to do. I'm gonna stay right here for a second with this before I go into your inspirations. How hard is it, or is it really, how difficult is it to direct us? Y'all know what I mean by that. Direct us people? How difficult is it being a choral or an ensemble director? Y'all peel back the layer. Let's tell us what really happens when you're trying to get us together to do something great in that term. I'll start with whoever on this one. Let's start with the Malones right here. Y'all started. So how is that really without getting in trouble with your folk, but just peel some insight on what that's like to really direct.
I'll say one thing. Gerald, he disappeared on us, but Gerald Burnett is one of the best directors I have ever seen.
Yes. Yeah.
I have had the privilege of watching him come to the National Youth Vocal Ministry Camp for years, and I have seen him teach music that I did not. He would send the music to Jerome and I, sometime before, and we would be like, "Oh, okay, all right, this is going to be interesting." And in 3 days, he commands a respect and a presence from the people who are working with him, because that he is so prepared and he is so capable. And a theme that I heard from Brother Norwood and that I heard from Gerald earlier, a theme I heard running was leadership. I heard Brother Norwood talking about how he worked with the leaders at the church. He saw what he was doing as a part of a larger vision they cast. And so he's not working against the fray, he's working with it. When I have watched Gerald direct, everybody falls in line because he comes so prepared. He commands respect just because he knows his stuff. And so he can tell you, hey, what's all the talking? We don't need all talking. And you can tell he's getting a little irritated, but you fall in line. It's not a fence. You don't have a fence. You feel, okay, I'm detracting from something that's going to be great here. Yeah. I need to fall in line. And it creates that. So I think for working with us, I think sometimes we underestimate the power of preparation and coming prepared. That is a generic expectation of all people, all of us.
And can I insert right here? Can I insert right here? If you don't know, if you can't hear music, or you don't really understand it, what part everybody in the group should be singing, you probably don't need to be directed. Can I just throw that in here tonight? Because you're hurting. A lot of congregations are hurting. How can I be in the group and know where I'm supposed to go better than you do as a director? And that happens. I learned that as a coach. How am I going to coach a player and the player is looking to me and I don't know? So I think it's important to know that the director's got to know what everybody's doing. It's like the quarterback on the field, and I think we got to search for that kind of excellence in our groups. Gerald, since Tiffany mentioned you, tell us a little bit about that, because you ought to see some of the comments. It's widely known that you are respected you've done wonderful things here at Duncanville High School. Your groups win awards. So you translated your gift and you translated it into the world. Tell us what it's like to be a director for you.
What is it like to be a director? I totally enjoy music. I mean, I always kind of enjoy it and say they actually pay me to do what I like to do. I mean, when I'm at work, I feel like I'm just having fun for the most part, versus working. But the biggest part of it, in my opinion, is the relational piece of it. Being connected to the people that I work with, whether it's at church or at I'm at Kennemer Middle School in Duncanville, but developing a relationship with them makes all the difference. So, and it even comes out in their singing, in their respect for you, in them wanting to go the extra mile when they think they don't have any more to give. I can't do it. Yes, you can. In my choir, the word "I can" is not even allowed. So I make them put the word yet on the end of it. They have to say I can't yet. My students. So it's just the biggest piece is relationship and them seeing me, like Tiffany said, making sure I'm prepared. At no point should a choir member know better than you in terms of something that you're supposed to be teaching. I've seen that happen a time or two, where the director wasn't necessarily prepared, and they in the choir, had to kind of teach for them. That's just not necessarily a good. So I would say, to close it up, preparation and having a relationship with the people you're directing.
Yeah, and I'll bring up John, Miss Terry, and Brother Noah, Jerome, any of you on this one. What about the generational? Since we're right here, the generational differences, generational gaps. How do we bridge those when it comes to directing and music? And younger group wants a different style, right? And the older people may want something different. Let's talk about that infusion of that and how that can actually be a strength instead of a weakness if we play it right.
Can you state that question one more time, Sam? I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the generational gaps that we have there in our musical style, and it can maybe attribute it to style as well. How do we bridge that in our congregations? That issue of generational gaps and the younger kids wanting to sing a different style than the older people. What do you guys have to say about that, or input that you would have to encourage someone who's struggling on either end of that?
Yeah, one thing I said earlier is talked about how God placed different gifts within the body. I think it's important for us to understand the power of diversity in different song leaders, using the talents that you have. Every now and then it's good to pick up a red hymn book and sing a song that's going to minister to people that can identify with that. Every now and then it's good to get some good old soulful song. And sometimes it's good to get one of those young people that are gifted and talented and develop them, because there's a whole group of young people that would enjoy that style of music that's going to minister to. The words are what minister. The message is going to minister. Yeah. And God has given us different styles, and he's gifted the body with so much variety that if you tap into it, it's going to bless your ministry, because we're trying to reach all people, and people that are when someone comes to my congregation, I want them to see themselves within that congregation. Over the course of the service, I want them to hear a song that speaks to them. And so if you have the variety to do that, and you can develop those young people. For example, you take when Pooh was coming up, my nephew, he was energetic and fiery, and he scared a lot of the older members. But God used his ministry to impact a whole generation. Right. To, if not, they're sitting on their cell phones playing during church. If you don't understand that they are there, and we have a responsibility to connect with them as well. So I think it's important that we find ways to minister to the different styles and the different people and the different generations that's right there in our congregations.
Yeah. As an elder and as a senior minister, I can talk about it from the perspective of, how do we get you to go along with, this new style? When we did the lectureship in Cincinnati in 2007, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, we did 3 different ways of singing. We did the classic style, which is the Willie Norwood style, where it's just him, which is awesome. Then one night we added the bass, that was nice. But then Brian and them came down and set it off. And that was really the first time our fellowship saw singing at that level. My point is that with a lot of people, it's exposure. It's knowing that what you're trying to introduce is not going to lead them down a destructive path. It's a lack of trust. Right now, I'm trying to get our music guy, to want to spend a little bit more time with us. And that's what you have to do with your leaders. You know, some are a little more open, some are a little more reserved, but it's too few of us to not be on the same page, moving toward the same direction. So I would give counsel to anybody who's trying to do that at a congregational level, you know, to build that relationship with your senior team so that they can have trust and know that they won't be writing about you in the Christian Chronicle in a few months, you know, about how you led the church away down some, you know, path of apostasy. And oh, that's dramatic. I mean, a lot of us, and I'm speaking as an elder and a senior minister, a lot of us feel that way with some of the decisions that we're seeing now in our fellowship. And it's serious business. When we stand before God, yeah, we'll stand accountable for ourselves, but we also have some responsibility for the people we're leading. So some of that pushback is not me being cranky, it's me being concerned. And what you have to do, our music people have to do, is learn how to work with that concern. Know it's coming from a good place. Nobody wants a more electrifying worship service than your leadership.
Yeah.
But if they're not there yet, then you're going to have to work with them until they get there.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd like to say that when I've seen the styles kind of come and go. When I first came to LA, there were no drumming. And by drumming, I mean when the bass do the boom, 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 boom. But when beatboxing came, and it became the thing, then there were all kinds of sounds being made underneath melodies. So when you get a lot of that going on, I saw in my own eyes how it kind of developed. When song leaders worship leaders were not really that involved in the worship and in the, you know, in the overall administration of the different ministries in the church, then, you know, you would just get a guy out in the congregation. So yeah, you can sing, come on up here and sing a song. And then what we created over a period of time was just elevator music. You know what elevator music is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the music you don't listen to when you're in the elevator. It just kills time.
Yeah.
This is what, for instance, if you know, have you ever been told as a song leader, Jerome, sing a song? You know, get up there and sing a song. Sing a song. You know, if things are going a little, you know, getting a little bit out of hand, sing a song. But when you go that route, it's hard to connect your spirituality with your lyrics. And the difference between a mechanical instrument and a person that is an instrument but non-mechanical, and that's us. We connect music to emotions. And if the emotions is not there, if it doesn't ride on what you believe and what you are really, really believing about God, then that's not going to go anywhere. It will entertain, but it will not go anywhere. It will not edify. It may make some folk happy, but it will not edify. It will not build them up into faith. So, but I've seen that kind of those styles come and go. I don't have any. I'm not the one sitting on the side grumbling about what they do. I try to get in there and understand why they are doing what they're doing, and I'm not quick to judge that. But I've seen it kind of go, because when I first came to California, there was no way a bass was gonna go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even Sylvia Rose said, I give bass words to sing and not just this and that. But that was how she felt about it. And okay, that's fine. But if young people can feel what's going on and be involved and relate, you got to get them to the door first before you start doing some other crazy stuff. You know, like telling them they need to do this and they need to do that. They're not going to hear that. You need to get in there with them, like Jerome and Tiffany doing, and find out what it is that's important to them, because it's more than just the music; it's the ministry.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point, and to slide right into here, you guys. Now listen, we only have about 20 more minutes or so, but I want to now y'all know I'm gonna get in trouble. They asked me, y'all got to do some singing on here. Do you have a song in your heart? What's your go-to song? But I'll say this before: what inspires you? I think it's important for somebody to hear what motivates you, what drives you, what inspires you in terms of ministry, because some people don't get that. That all enthusiasm. That's a word that really means that God breathes, that God moves in one. It comes from God, and my motivation has always got to be intrinsic. It has to come from the inside. It has to come from a deeper place. So you guys share with us. And Miss Terry, what drives you? What motivates you when to keep going, getting on the van, showing up at people's homecoming, every time somebody asks you to sing, and what drives you from a spiritual standpoint?
Sam, what drives me is recognizing that it's not about me. This is a ministry, and it is not just something that I do. I'm not a performer. I have people that ask me, why don't you be on this show or whatever, and try to go get a record label, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But kind of like what Brother Noah said, I'm not trying to condemn somebody that is either. If that's what you feel like God is leading you to, then you do what you feel that God needs you to do. But for me, ministry is the key. One of my favorite passages in the Bible is 2 Corinthians chapter 1, where Paul says that I need to encourage others as God has encouraged me. Yeah, so singing to me is encouragement. It's me sharing with people what God has done for me. Mm-hmm. And just from what you guys were saying earlier, at the vocal camp, we teach the young people, and I think we need to be more about teaching everyone. We teach them that it needs to be real. You need to be singing. You can sing a lie just as well as you can tell it. Preachers say that all the time. One of the topics I talked about, one of the first years I went to vocal camp, is tell your face what you're singing.
Yeah.
Because if it's not real, we have too many people trying to perform, too many people trying to see who can run the most. Can you run up the street and around the corner? I can only run to the corner. Don't matter. What matters is the message, and is that message real in you? So what keeps me going is the message being real. One of my teachers at Sunset School of Preaching told us, she said that you shouldn't speak on nothing that you cannot relate to.
Right.
And so I believe that same thing with music. I don't sing nothing that I cannot make it personal. And you may want me to sing something, kind of like what Brother Noah said, sing something. Well, sing what? It's not. You have to just say, okay, so what you want me to sing?
Right.
People ask me, ask my kids, do your mama sing all through the house all the day? I said, no, I don't. I love going to Tiffany and Jerome's house because I love listening to Tiffany sing all through the house all the time. That music is so much in her to where it just comes out, and Tiffany's in the bathroom singing, and I'm just sitting there just listening to her. She don't even know I'm sitting outside in the living room listening to her. It's just so real to her that she's always singing,
Yeah.
And so, I'm inspired by ministry.
Yeah.
If you tell me, oh, I really liked hearing you sing, okay, there's a lot of people that can sing.
Right.
But if you tell me that it ministered to you, it got you through something, it made you think about God, that's when I've done what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. 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 And you're absolutely right. Tiffany, I'm about to come to you because Miss Terry said something there and I forgot. Oh, when she said, "I don't entertain," it reminds me of the scene in The Gladiator. Remember The Gladiator? And he was a general who became a slave, and they wanted him to entertain. And I just sometimes you guys just want to say, "I do not entertain. I'm not here to entertain you," you know. And I think you can be edified by what I do. But I'm not just the Miss Terry sing on the spot. Tiffany, sing something for me.
Right.
So, yeah, I need something right now. That's not how it works. And I'm glad to hear you say that. Though we are edified, and when we have these programs, we want you to come, right? So you can be edified. But there's a difference between edification and entertaining. And I think it's important. But Tiffany, I got to come to you because I remember the first time I heard your voice, I was like, where'd she come from? I mean, you know, it's raw, it's powerful, it's real, it's from the depth of your soul. So tell everybody, where does that come from? You can turn that on, you can say, that's Tiffany Malone right there. Where does that come from for you?
For me, it's the message is a big thing for me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I hear you well.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, the message is what inspires me. So even, you know, when I was recording my solo CD, and Jerome wrote a lot of those songs, what really was inspiring me, even as we were recording it, that message, we wanted the message of every single song to be front and center. So the piece about we're not here to entertain you, what we came to do is put a message in your lap. I came to put something in your lap. You know, I want you to leave with this thing. Music is kind of the paintbrush. This is how we color it. I didn't come to put the paintbrush in your lap. I came to put the message in your lap. And so, if you were around me on any given day, that's what I'm about. That's what I'm about all the time. And so when I'm getting up and when I sing, it's just an extension of that. So no, it's not, I agree. I didn't come to entertain you, just as you said, that message is front and center. So the songs that I've recorded Jerome has written a lot of songs, and one thing about his writing and really in good songs, that message will sit in your lap at the end of the day. I want you to feel what we were talking about. If we're singing a song about praise, I want you to feel that that's where you're supposed to go. If it's, Johnny Run Home or something, I want you thinking back on where you were in that season of your life. And everything about that is designed to leave the message sitting in your lap. And so for me, that's huge. The songs that even to this day speak to me, leave the message sitting in my lap. One of my favorite songs is it's a Hillsong, So Will I. That song, that message is just, okay, what place am I not surrendered? What place, if everything God has created is obeying him, where am I not obeying him in my life? They left that message in my lap. So for me, that's my inspiration. In
the book of Colossians 3:16, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. What has always inspired me is the lyric. And I will spend consecutive months trying to get that teaching aspect of the lyric right. There's a song I wrote, which is probably my favorite song that I've written. It's called A Love Like You, Lord. And it took me over a year to write those lyrics. So when I talk about what inspires me, it's that journey of trying to put pen to paper to teach someone in the lyric, and of course the melody and the music, who after they leave that song, their thinking is enlightened about the subject that we're singing about. So it's more than the fanfare. Now, I will say that I don't think that we should necessarily put a negative spin on capturing people's attention.
Right.
Nobody wants to be in a boring place,
Right.
where people aren't striving and really pushing themselves musically. No preacher wants to get up to a dry, dead, lifeless worship setting. So I think that there's a balance where on one hand, we do want to be edifying, we want to be teaching, we want to be encouraging, but yet on the other side, can we do that and still be ethical in what we do? It's not just about, what we have on, our sunglasses, how our hair is done, what suit we have on, how people are hollering. Some of that artistry is just people being who they are.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I like that because I'm not like that. I'm really a blue shirt, blue tie, blue blue single suit person, and some black socks and black shoes. But I love to see that. And that excites me because God didn't give me that thing. So I just didn't want us to make sure that we got out of there, painting people negative who may be a little more,
right,
flamboyant, if you will, and how they present themselves in their singing.
Yeah, that's so excellent. And I think to touch on this, Brother Norwood, go ahead.
I think that as ministers and worship leaders and stuff, we should be authentic to who we are. And if we are authentic and we are real about who we are, then it will come off authentic. It won't come off entertaining. It won't come off, because you got to fake to entertain.
Right.
But be real about what you're doing. If you have a love for God, express that in what you do and how you go about doing what you're doing. God is not boring.
Right.
Yeah. Peter said we're lively stones, and
yes, we are.
Everything dead ought to be in the cemetery. I don't know, but I'm so thankful. Shout out to a lot of them on here that I'm in a congregation that loves to sing, and that's a blessing. It's a blessing, and it's what we ought to do to bring glory and honor to God. Jerome and Tiffany, I want to ask you something, and then I'm gonna come to you, Gerald, because we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But David said in the text, David said that he turned my joy into mourning, gladness. He says that the end of my song may be praised, and he said, I don't want to be silent. And he says, oh Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever. There are people who actually are silent. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, right? David said, that's silence. We all ought to have a testimony. And sometimes your testimony comes forth in your singing. It comes forth in your writing. And so what people hear, they think you're trying to hit the right note, but that's your soul pouring out your complaint before the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's your soul, as the song says, then sings my soul.
Yeah. My
Savior God, to thee how great thou art. Not then sings my note, or then sings my pitch, then sings my soul. So I want to kind of I wanted to touch on this, Jerome and Tiffany, just real quick. How is it being a musical couple? I mentioned this to you guys earlier. Is that like, there's some stuff my wife and I can work on and some stuff we can't. So how is that aspect of being in music together and producing together, if y'all would be willing to disclose for those other 10?
I'll say just for it's interesting listening to Terry talk about coming and staying with us and hearing me sing. I don't ever think I sing around the house. Now, if you let my mom and daddy tell it, they tell the joke that they couldn't get me to shut up when I was growing up. And the kids say I sing I don't notice that I'm singing, I think. And so I think that's happening between us all the time, because there are a lot of times when we will get up to sing and the vibe, it's a natural, it's a natural link. We don't have to.
Yeah, I love it. Just being able to sing with her.
We know you do.
Like God has brought us together. And so the singing piece, it's like I know where she's gonna go, and she knows where I'm gonna go, and we can just sing the song without really having effort, and we can really minister because we also not only connect as far as knowing each other's voices and just how to sing together, but our experiences. So there are times when we're singing a song and she knows what I'm talking about and I know what she's talking about, or we're actually going through something right then. And so when we're singing about it, and we're ministering to each other and we're ministering to the people. And I think people can feel that. And so I absolutely love it. And then, you know, it's fun. And I guess in the studio, she don't really like in the studio that much.
Let me clarify that. The studio is not. That's not the place for me. So I
just
don't
can't believe
mind
that.
singing
Nice.
and we're vibing and it's natural. The work, and he is a slave driver.
We know.
In the best possible way that I can say slave driver.
We all know.
I said this to y'all.
Did you do good?
I trust him because he knows me so well to get the best out of me. He knows what somebody else would say is good, and he would say, "That's you got a better one. That's not good. Give me another one." And so that I don't love recording.
And for me,
I don't love recording at all. I'm saying that as nicely as I can. Does that sound good? I don't love recording.
When I'm producing, you know, it has to be for me. When we finish recording, we send it off to be duplicated or whatever. It has to be as perfect as I can get it. And so if we can get it better, and if there's a better take, and so they're like, nobody's gonna hear that. Nobody's gonna. And I'm like, we have to do it because I'm gonna have to listen to this the rest of my life. And so for me, I was at the studio last night with my son, and they're working on something, and so I can go until I get sleepy. You know, when I get sleepy, I start asking them, does it sound good? And they're like, I think it's time for us to go. So, you know, it's that point, but I could go without eating. I could just be in there all day, all night.
We know.
They're ready to go. So that could be an issue a little bit, but I think God has allowed us to find a good balance so that it could do what he wants to accomplish in the lives of when people hear it for whatever they're dealing with. You know, for what God is trying to do. That's our goal.
Yeah,
and we're just on assignment. But to answer your question, we love it, and you know, we work through all the kinks.
Well, y'all are a match made in heaven. Yeah, y'all match made in heaven. I want to just tell y'all to continue to do what y'all are inspiring so many people. And it's beautiful to see a couple working together in music. We're gonna get ready to start wrapping this thing up because time flies when you're having fun. And there's so much meat left on this bone. I'm telling you, I don't feel like we ought to come back next week. But I want to this we did this last week and give you an idea. Miss Terry, I know what you said. You said we ain't gonna ask nobody to sing. If you put it on your heart to do a note or two, we'll see. But what I want to give you guys just to share a moment to share what's on your mind. I know I've been asking the questions as it pertains to music or music ministry or anything that you would like to share to all those listening. We have a great audience tonight, and I said, what's your go-to song? And that was the question I asked. What's the songs you go to in your dark hour or in your difficult days? I want that, or just share with us some things that's been on your heart as it pertains to music and music ministry. And before we get ready to wrap this up on tonight, I'll start with you, Gerald.
One of my favorite. I'll start by saying the artist Kirk Franklin is probably my number one favorite artist because he is the Phil Jackson. He's not known for his singing. He's known for his writing ability, his production. And I see myself in that. But a song that I listen to almost every day by Kirk, and his words are so powerful. It's titled Just For Me. And I'm not a great singer, but it goes, just for me, many doors you've closed. just for me. Sometimes you will say no, so I'll be tested in your fire to purify my desires. So it's talking about all the things that God is doing just for me, but in a negative sense. He's closing all these doors, he's blocking things off from me, but it's actually to purify me and to help me. And I listen to that song at least once a day. I'm a Kirk lover.
Yeah, Kirk Franklin is talented. His stuff is just amazing. But thank you for sharing that, Gerald. That song that is that one you sing in the shower or on the way to work? Just
in the grocery store, wherever.
Grocery store, anywhere you can. Yeah, definitely. Brother John, what are you thinking right now musically?
Yeah. Well, Exodus has been out 25 years as of November of 2019. And that's hard to believe. Terry and I have been doing this thing all these years. And I'm excited about trying to come out with some new things musically. I've been praying about that. It's just very hard for me to do that because with every recording, I try to step it up. So I can't do anything that's worse than what I did for the lectureship in Cincinnati. So it just takes quite a bit. So I've been thinking about doing some new stuff, but primarily my thought is, how can I play a part in better influencing the next generation? What I appreciate about Brother Norwood, and I'm actually the president of the Phoenix branch of the Willie Norwood fan club here. We just love him to death. But he inspired a whole generation. You're talking about Epiphany, Agape, all the choruses at Southside. All of us were inspired. So if I could say what's on my mind most, it's how can I contribute to this next generation? And I'm hoping to do some things with the vocal camp at some point in the future. But I'm starting to feel a little guilt because I know that time is not promised to anyone. Right. And we really got to work hard to get these young people ready so they can take it on to that next level. So.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate you, man. You contributed so much to the body under the radar. And you're one of the most gifted writers, minds musically that we have in the Brotherhood. So we appreciate all of your contributions and what you've done. Exodus was just amazing. Still today, there's so much on there that we our Brotherhood can really thank for. Ms. Terry.
One song, like I said, I don't sing around the house all the time, but I listen to my Bible more. But one song that I find myself singing quite often when I'm just kind of riding or just thinking is a song that Gerald recorded with Terry. And for some reason, I don't know all the words, but the part I know, it just comes out all the time. So Jehovah Jireh, my provider, you are more than enough for me. Jehovah Rapha, you're my healer. And you're more than enough.
Yeah.
You're more than enough. You're more than enough for me.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That song always comes to me because no matter what's going on in my life, God is more than enough. I just love it. And I hear a lot of other songs that I love to listen to. I love to sing and with people, my kids tell me about songs all the time, and I listen with them. I love to hear Jerome and Tiffany. Every time y'all sing "Jesus Is More," I don't think I've ever gotten out of it without bawling. But I just love to hear people sing about God and the genuineness of the message. You know, depends on the moment.
Yeah, Miss Terry, you are truly one of the gifts. You and Brother Mays, y'all know what y'all mean to me. Y'all pretty much changed the trajectory of my life a few years ago, and y'all know exactly what I mean by that. So I thank you, and just been a blessing to the brotherhood. And I want you to know that I think we've got to get back to encouraging people by complimenting and giving the praise that people deserve. We thank you for your work, for your effort to edify us, to lift us up. And I think your ministry has brought a lot of people through some difficult times. And so I just thank you for all that you do and all that you are, and sharing your gift with us. Jerome and Tiffany, what's on y'all's mind? Now, Miss Terry said something, so y'all got it easier than everybody because y'all can pop out a duet or,
right.
Give the people what they want when we go. We got to give them a little something over here. What y'all got? I know y'all got something.
I'm gonna leave it on Sister Tiff. I'll join in on whatever she starts.
I'll tell you what, just thinking back about to your question a couple minutes ago when you were asking what inspires us, that I know me and that God uses me amazes me because I know me and I know what He's done for me. And so it's a simple songs like, thank you, Lord, take me in, because I know what He's done. And so we can
go ahead.
Thank you, Lord. Oh, I thank you, Lord. Oh, I thank you, Lord. Oh, I just want to thank you, Lord.
Verse 2. Yeah. Hold on, what happened to verse 2? Hold on, what happened to verse number 2? You've been so good.
You've been so good.
What do you say?
What happened to
Go
verse
on.
number 2?
I'm waiting on it.
Go ahead. Never mind. Oh, yeah.
You've been so good. Yes, you have, Lord. You've been so good. Through it all, He's been good. And I just want to thank you, Lord. You've been my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, you have, Lord. Oh, you've been in my you've been my best friend. Oh, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord.
I
tell you, Sam, let me tell you, man, that song has been, I don't know how you guys came up with that song, but let me tell you, that song has been blessing me all the week. Thank you so much.
Man. Well, brother, no, I was coming right to you.
They sung my song. I was going to sing that song. They sung my song. Enough. Praise God.
But do you have anything that's on your mind you'd like to share? Again, we appreciate you. You have, as has been stated in comments, you have been pretty much an inspiration to many of us coming along, and longevity has its place, Dr. King says, and you have definitely shown us what it means to practice longevity. And there was a quote that I heard before that said, talent can take you there. Never let your talent take you to a place that your character can't keep you. So your talent has taken you there, and your character has kept you there. So we appreciate that. So anything you want to say to those? So many hung around tonight, and I hope you've been inspired and encouraged just by, there's so much meat left on this bone, and there's so many musicians who we could have this discussion with, and we may keep it going. Who knows? Part 3 may be coming next week. But Brother Norwood, what do you have? I know there's something that you may want to say to encourage somebody who's listening, or just on your heart before we go.
Well, what's on my heart is this, that there are people going through so many things right about now. And as I went down Hollywood, I was down on Santa Monica in Hollywood, and I looked around and the streets were so empty when it was like lights everywhere. And when you look around, the world will never be like it was before. Yeah. This is the threshold to the future that we are experiencing right now. I want to say to every child of God, keep being grateful and thankful for whatever God is doing, because he knows best.
Well, thank you, Brother Norwood. Thank you, Tiffany and Jerome, for that song. I mean, gosh, Miss Terry, Emerson, Gerald, all you guys tonight. Before we go, do y'all have any other thing y'all want to say? Because y'all know I keep this going on over here. So those who want to stay with the after tonight, I'll be jamming some Committed, and we'll be jamming a little bit of that tonight, and you'll be able to hear it from my echo over here. So thank you tonight. We have such a great audience. What a wonderful turnout tonight. Thank you for your comments, for your participation, and I pray that you would recognize the song that God has put in your heart. And that's the purpose of this, that all of us have a ministry, and that ministry has to be born out of experience. And it has to be born out of sincerity, and it has to be born out of gratitude toward God from where he brought you from to where he has now placed you. And give God, don't be afraid to give God the glory through your talents. Stop diminishing your talents because someone else feels uncomfortable with what God gave you. And when you start doing that, God can be lifted up, and he can be encouraged. And I think I hope you can see on this is that all these wonderful artists and ministry leaders appreciate one another. And I think we've got to get back to doing that, appreciating that, elevate, lift, encourage, stop doing all the comparison, because God made us all different and all uniquely fit for a specific purpose and for a specific time. So, is there anything else for the panel? Do you guys have anything else?
Sam?
Comments before we go? Yes, ma'am.
Please. Oh, no. Okay. Let Gerald speak.
Oh, go ahead, Gerald.
Gerald? I was just going to say to Brother Norwood, I remember when I was a kid, he used to come to Dallas every year to the Bronco Bowl to lead songs at the Campaign for Christ. And I was 9 or 10 years old, and I was so liked by his singing way back then. They brought him in every year to do the song leading here in Dallas. That's the first time I remember ever seeing you, brother.
God bless you, Gerald. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bless you and your family, man. Let's
Hey, Sam,
do this.
Yes, sir.
Sam, you gotta do it again. I gotta see my other brothers, man. There's so much talent in the Church of Christ.
It is. It is.
Gotta do it again. You promise?
I will. We might have some ready for next week.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank for all the people who's chimed in. I was over here trying to answer somebody, and I don't know whether they got my answer or not, but I love you so much.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Tiffany, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, thank God for you. You have such a beautiful spirit, and the spirit that you're going about this whole thing in is beautiful. And I know that so much fruit is going to come from it, but I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and to just keep letting your light shine the way you are. It's a beautiful thing.
Now, Sam, is this going to be on iTunes, on YouTube?
Yeah, you can actually stream it live now. I just started a new YouTube page called The Soul Stir. It's because of the radio show not going, so you can actually get it after on Soul Stir. I can text you or send you the information.
Okay.
But for those who are listening, go to The Soul Stir. Actually, I need subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe.
We got you, brother.
And what we're gonna do is we want to share positive things, ministry, music, different things like that with the world. So we're getting it going. So,
Sam,
yes, sir.
For those of us who have music available, can you just spend a little time seeing how people can get some of our music? I know Brother Norwood did a classic album. I'm not sure if it's available, 8033, but I need to get a fresh copy of that. And then, of course, I have some things musically. So is that permitted? Is that okay to do that?
Yeah, I think it's that time. And I think COVID has provided us opportunity. We need that now than ever. We need that song. We need that music.
Sam, let me tell a story here.
Okay.
I was in the store trying to get some promotional stuff for my album. And this lady, she was from Mississippi. And she said, look, she said, I got this music. And I said, how you get it? She said, are you from Mississippi? And I'm from Mississippi. So I picked the album up. And so I said, do you like it? She said, I'm a brain surgeon. And she said, I work life and death every day. I work with people. I'm a brain surgeon. And she says, the only music that I listen to that I can unwind and get myself back together after dealing and standing, between death and life with people is a cappella music. And so I just want to say to us that the music that we make a cappella is therapeutic. And that's what people need now. If you're there, tell your friends or get some music and give it to them. It will bless their lives.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. That's so true. A cappella music, there's nothing like it. And I think all of us agree with that. One more thing before we go. Brother Noah, you said a song. You said you wanted to play a song. I heard you saying it before we go.
No, I said play my song in your program.
Which one is that?
Anyone you pick is fine.
Okay, I got you. Next week when I come on, we're gonna intro with one of your songs.
Good. I'm shameless about that.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep this going. Again, thank you all for the love. Miss Terry, I love you. But John, I love you. Jerome and Tiffany, but Noah, love you guys. So we'll say a prayer this minute. And all of those who've been listening tonight, we hope that you've been encouraged. Send these individuals a message on their Facebook page and tell them how they are inspired to encourage you. We need more love, showing love and encouragement to one another for the gifts that he's blessed us within the Church of Christ and the body of Christ. And remember, Paul says all the gifts that are given to the body are given for the edification of the body. And I pray that the body is edified tonight by this. I'm going to say a prayer, and then I'm going to turn on that elevator music as we head on out tonight. Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you so much for this blessed opportunity. We know there's a lot going on in the world, but the ability for us to stop and just talk about your word. Father, we thank you for we know as David, you have brought us out of the horrible pit and you've set us on solid ground and you established our goings. That's why we sing to you. Father, help us to continue to explore and discuss and appreciate the gift of song. May our songs continue to flow from our gratitude. May they continue to lift you up and lift your name and give you the praise which you so richly deserve. Father, I pray that you'll bless all of these individuals, these panelists who come on tonight to share their gift and to share their thoughts. May someone be encouraged and inspired, and may you continue to bless them and their ministry and their lives and their families as well. We give you all the glory and the honor for all the things that you have allowed us to say and do here on tonight. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Love you guys.
Love you guys too.
Good night.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye, Terry.
Bye.
Bye, Terry.
Bye, Brother Norbert.
See you, John. I gotta get out there.
Here it comes. Oh, here we go.
Now connected to Galaxy S9.
Where's it at? Here we go. There it is. Oh, we still got 3 on.
I'll see you, Sam.
All right, have a good one.
All right. Say hi to Lori
I will.
and the rest of your family. Stay safe and sound.
Yes, sir. You too. So it's just me and Emerson on the after party. Oh man, I look forward to that new stuff, man. Thank you guys for joining in tonight.
Everybody needs a friend. Shoulder. Everybody needs a helping hand. Well, you ought to try Jesus. It's just a prayer away. See, he can make your burdens light. Turn your midnight into day. Yeah. He's so much more than a healer. When you're feeling kind of that is more than label. I don't want to know he's like life around. That's why we're more. Only Jesus.
Thank you guys. If you want to see this video later or share it later, you can go to the Soul Stir on YouTube. So don't laugh at me. It's just one video on there, but there'll be more to come. I promise you that. Give us feedback on this discussion tonight. And I think just as Brother always said, I guess we got no choice but to see you next week for part 3. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Atkinson. We're praying for you. Thank you, bro.
There ain't no secret what my God can do. What he's done for others, I know he can do so.
Hey, Sister Elliott. We got a good after church hanging around tonight. And I'm so hungry, but that was worth it. Bye, Cedar Valley. Love you guys. No ice cream tonight. Good night, good night. I mean, wasn't that just, I mean, did y'all hear Tiffany and Malone? Tiffany and Jerome killing it. Oh my gosh. I'm over here, allergies, man.
I need you to just close your eyes. And I need you to think about your personal
Stephanie!
How good.
Have a blessed night.
Let's just give God praise. Ooh, it's time to worship. Oh, let's go. Lift up holy hands.
Hey there, Foyer Studios is waiting on you. We got a hit. I'm telling you. You gotta have the song ready. Good night, Sister Betty. Good night, Shanari. Darren Jones came through one Sunday and just destroyed it. Destroyed the service. Lord.
Oh, I need a witness of it.
This is water. Yes, ma'am. Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear Tiffany and Miss Terry was saying, just showing the love and the encouragement. Somebody said, which one sings the best? It doesn't exist. The one that sings from the heart. The one that sings from inspiration. The one that sings from purpose. We got to stop keeping score in the church. Yes, so since y'all said that, we're going to get all these links going on there to get all this music purchased. Thank you. Yes, we're going to get links. I'm going to work on that tomorrow for you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Shanari. Yeah, you can listen to the radio show anywhere you are in the country. It's on 1630 KKGM, or go to KK. Yes, Ernest. Shannon is my brother. I'm the oldest. Well, no, I'm Misty's the oldest, but I'm older than Shannon. Yeah, Shanari, you can catch the radio station, radio broadcast. I do it every day here in Dallas at 1630, but you can catch it on the internet. Go to kkgm.com and just hit listen live. And it's from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. daily Central Time. So, Foyer Studio. That's right. Watch this. I'm gonna play them back to back. But y'all, this is a song I wrote. It was sang by a young lady named Shalay. I wrote this about 6 years ago. My brother-in-law Justin recorded it, and my sister Melody helped me with the background. There are no words. You make the sun rise up every morning. Yeah. And there's no day exactly the same. And everything that you have created answers when you come. CeeLo, what's up? You just getting in, CeeLo? The Soul Stir. Yes, sir. Dallas, Texas. Ah, okay. Sorry. Y'all need to hear Jill Scott. All right, here we go. Y'all, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu battle was good, but that's not even what we're trying to do tonight. We'll do this one more time, the other version. Blessings and comfort are a part of my daily life, because my hand is in yours. Walking this Christian life, I'm so glad I know you. Yeah, I best friend of mine. My belief is love. Not my will, but thine. I have been. That's gift. But it has been your grace that has carried me. I'm not the oldest, sis. That's subconscious, Subconscious. All right, Brother Victor. Hope to get to meet you. I know. Right here on my on my YouTube video. And that's some Brother Ernest. That's all right. I hear you, son. I was gonna try to sneak Amy on the conversation and sing it right here, but we didn't work that out. But I was gonna have to the phone. Yeah, you cool. It's on. Yeah, you good. Hey, plug that up for me right there. Plug that light
You gave your life.
Hey, brother Curtis. Yes, sir. It's nice to meet you via virtual. Thank you so much. Appreciate the encouragement. Who's that? Who? Me? Okay. Appreciate it.
You gave the life. Yes, I'm so glad that I'm thankful for you giving me your life, and I am so glad. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. You gave me your life. Yes, I'm thankful. Thankful. Oh, thank you. You gave your precious life.
Well, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna turn it in for the night. Well, not turn it in. I'm about to go stuff my face, but my girls made some something. We'll go see what it is. This is a song. I like this song. It's a song by my sister. I'm gonna do two more songs. This is a little Chris Turner. Let's see. Hold on. We're gonna see what we got right here. I might have about two more songs in me. This is Dwayne Pugh. I love this song. Oh, here it is. This is by Dwayne Pugh. It's called Deliverance Is Coming. I love it.
Just when you were walking out the door, you decided you can't take no more.
I was SWCC 2000. I'm gonna do two more songs and then turn it off. 2000, no, 2000, yeah.
Frustrated with your feelings, you hit a glass ceiling. Spiritually, you need a breakthrough. Your deliverance is coming. Come and say, all shit aboard. Deliverance is coming. Coming soon. Brother, sister, just hold on, be hard. Deliverance is coming.
I think my sister's on this too.
Oh, yeah. Deliverance is coming. Deliverance is coming. It's coming. Coming soon. It's coming. Yeah. Deliverance is coming.
So again, for those who had my YouTube page, it's kind of weak now because I'm just starting it, but it'll be where it needs to be. Right? It don't look like where it's going. I just need you to subscribe.
When you thought it was over, God whispered, He told you He can bring dead things to life.
I play some Terry and some I might play some Gerald. Let's see if I can get a Gerald song. Gerald Burnett is talented, extremely talented. We're glad to have him. Just it's about uplift, you know. Yeah, Shannon. That's what I said. It's we talk about the power of a song to make you think about things. I don't know if my sister Melody is listening. Thank you, Sister Deborah. I'm glad. God bless you all. Love, baby. If someone can grab my sister Melody, tell her I didn't get this song on the radio last week, but I'm about to put it on here in a second. Miss Lee Shannon, can y'all give me oh, she's here. Yes. I'm honored she's still here. What? I'm about to play one of these songs with you. Is my mom still here? Man, our after class is pretty thick tonight. I'll do one more song, and I'm gonna go eat. Is the sound too loud? Need to come up a little bit. All right, it's my last song, and then we're gonna shut down the after. I call it elevator music. Brother Norwood kind of destroyed that tonight, but I'm gonna keep calling it elevator music. But his point was great. Wait on it. I got two more songs. This last song by Melody Bailey, and then I'm gonna end with one by Chris Turner, and then I'm gonna wrap.
If I could be me.
Nice.
Me.
Talk about
You
style.
could be you. We could be us. And start something brand new. Ooh. If we could be we could be a team. Maybe find a ring and take my heart.
It's called Christian Queen.
And you can take yours.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, guys. I go back.
If I could be part.
There we go.
Art. If I could be a Christian queen, and you could be my king. We could live like royalty, like it's our destiny. You'll see, if I can take me, and you can take you. We can put them together, we can make a you'll see.
Melody, can you type the name of the vocalist, the male vocalist?
It's our destiny. It's our destiny.
This man has played with a lot of great.
It's our destiny.
That's nice.
If I could be me, and you could be you, we can start a family like it's our destiny.
I wish that I could find something brand new. But I really got something old for you. It's the love of Christ. It's ancient as old as time, yeah. And out of this love, this ancient old love, I'll give you a life. If I could be a Christian king, you can be my queen. We can live like
Caleb, yeah.
Cause it's our destiny, you'll see. If I could take me, you can take you. We can put them together. We can make we, you'll see.
We can make we. I never heard that before, Mel.
It's our destiny. It's our destiny. It's our destiny.
If I get a chicken wing, I'm gonna dip it in some ranch. Then I'll get some ice cream. I'm sorry, I'm hungry. That's just all right. Here we go. I wanna live with this Chris Turner song. I feel like, Melody, I should do like one more of yours, cause yeah, I feel like I should, but I don't know which one I got here. I'm gonna go ahead and and end with this song, and we'll go. There's a little Chris Turner, and we'll go. Y'all have a good night.
Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Oh Lord, come by here. Somebody pray, Lord, come by here. Somebody pray, Lord, come by here. Somebody pray, Lord, come by here.
Thank you.
Oh Lord, come by here. Somebody singing, Lord, come by here. Singing, Lord, come
No,
by.
Melody, thank you. Thank you, Shannon.
Singing, Lord, come by. Singing, oh Lord, come by. You see my life. Take a look at every road.
Good night.
Sometimes my burden.
I got your text, Shanari.
I said, Lord, if it's will, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Somebody hurting, Lord, come by here. Somebody hurting, Lord, come by here. Somebody hurting, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Somebody needs you, Lord, come by here. Somebody needs you, Lord, come by here. Somebody needs you, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Sometimes on the road, sometimes tears are gonna have to shed. Say that hold on, let God keep you in His care. And say, Lord, I really need you. Won't you come by here? Come by here, my Lord. Come on by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh, Lord, by here. I hear my Lord. Oh, come by here, my Lord.
Ooh, I ain't fed my dog.
I hear my Lord.
So this gotta be the last song.
Come by here. Oh, Lord. Come by here. Oh, Lord. Come by here. Come by here. Folks over there shouting, Lord. Come by here. Folks over there shouting, Lord.
Y'all still going over there?
Lord, come by here. Oh, 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 Lord, come by here.
All right, I'm gone. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna leave it on till this song goes off. Long day. Okay, I'm gonna leave it on here for y'all then for a little bit, okay? All right, I'll come back and check on it. No point in me just sitting here in front of the camera, you know?
My
Good night.
Nobody but Jesus brings me hope, gets me through all my trials. Sometimes I'm on my knees, I'm bowed in prayer. Oh Lord, I'm bowed in prayer. I take all my trials. Give me strength through all my trials. I'm trials. Full of cares. These are trials. They weigh my shoulders down.
Okay, I'm back. I'll be right back. All right, we still got 38 on here. I'm gonna play another song. This is by Gerald Burnett. This is a song I wanted to play by Gerald Burnett. And we're gonna, after I play this, I'm gonna go for real.
Take a step without you. I can't make a move without you.
I can't
live the life without you. I can't leave my strength without you.
Sister Hunter, you already know what's up. This is the last song I'm gonna play with Gerald Burnett. Gerald Burnett. Take the step with so I'm gonna go ahead and fade this one out. All right. Here we go. This is He's All Right by Gerald Burnett. I wish I had this, would have played it earlier. I'm going to play it right now. I'm going to play this again next week. I hear some Chris Emerson in there, Misty Bailey, Melody Bailey. I wish I had this earlier. Oh, that's my kind of stuff right there. That's nasty. I mean, good way. Can y'all hear that bass from where y'all are? I'm gonna play that one next week. Yeah, it does, Mel. Manhattan Transfer. That's gosh. I hear you, Mel and Misty. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be jamming this tomorrow.
Jesus is amazing. He's alright. He's alright.
I got in on that one. I'm done. Y'all have a blessed night. Good to see y'all. That arrangement is great. Y'all have a good night. I'm logging off. Good night. Good night. Good night.
He's alright. He's alright.
Melody, you know I'm gonna listen to this like 10 times before I go to bed, right? You know how it goes. Till I have it, all parts. That deserves a replay. 20. Yeah, it's gonna be about 20 times tonight. Can't help it. All right, I'm going, y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. Love y'all, family, loved ones, friends. See you around. Good night. It's been great. Very uplifting.